geographies there, so I then, you know, we laid out the work, and then I like things to be relatively organized and symmetrical, and then it needs to be disrupted in some way, because otherwise it's too expected. So both in how we laid out the room, I didn't want to, you know, to do, and here's the series, and here's the painting. So we needed.
Which is exactly what I wanted, by the way.
So, but I think that it's always a dialogue with the artist to find that sweet spot between what you see in it and what they have in their minds, because it's about showcasing Adam's work.
Yeah, but it's also really important to know your limitations. Like, there are some things I can do very well, some things I can do not as well, and if not, it's great to work with people who can really do it much better.
Is there any reason why these are framed and the rest aren't framed?
Absolutely. First of all, money. So basically I have another project coming up, a very big one, so I have to allocate a lot of resources. But then, as I was doing also research about like how can I show them, I really like the idea of floating on the wall. And I'm really, really proud of how, like, if you, I can talk, I'm so proud of how they're attached to the wall. I consulted with the framer, and we found a technique that can protect the wall, protect the work, and
I think we need to trademark it.
Yeah, exactly, because it's such a good method.
Yeah.
And then also I think because the papers have a bit of like a roughness to them, they actually work very well, especially that we managed to make the distance between the work and the wall.
But realistically, I mean, it's perfectly fine. Did it just come down to, as you say, money and finances? If there was a lot more money, they'd all be framed.
Listen, logistics is part of life.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But if you manage to find good solutions that can compensate for that,
fine.
Basically. I'm a huge believer in like, what are my resources, what do I want to achieve, and how do I achieve it with the resources at hand.
And the timeline for these works, which are
2023 and 2026.
Okay, it's because I was going to ask, these are sketches made within the British Museum?
Yeah, I literally just did a sketch.
They were, so some predate you being here, or knowing you have an exhibition here. Were some, the 2026 ones, were they made in anticipation, like in direct anticipation of being here?
Yeah, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to have this exhibition, I'm going to sketch some horses. Because I usually go to the National Gallery, but I also love to go to, but I was like, let's just go to the British.
Yes.
Because the collection is just incredible. If I haven't been there in a while, and then I go there and I'm like, wow, they literally have like Egyptian boats. It's unbelievable.
I think, other than being born in Jerusalem, what makes you an Israeli painter or artist?
Everything else. I think that when you're born into a specific place, like it or not, you're going to inhabit all of things, whether you like it or not. So I always try to explain, for example, that if you're looking at, again, like history, and you're looking at painters that came to Israel in the 40s, in the 50s, a lot of people who migrated from Soviet Europe, and so they came to Israel and they were like, oh, this is so beautiful, this is so bright, this is like so exotic. But when you were born in Israel, you are born into that light. So everything is flaring and everything is on fire all the time, which is literally because it's so hot. So the perception of space, of light is very different. I don't have this exoticism towards the Mediterranean because I was born in the Mediterranean. So it's a very different approach. And of course, you also, every country has its own characteristics where there can be a bit rough on the edges sometimes, or a bit straightforward, or Israeli culture can be a bit arid and very limited sometimes. It's not luscious like French, So even if you're looking, I'm just saying, but I really love to think about cultures because there's a reason that Picasso could only be a Spaniard because of the rhythm and the line. And Matisse could only be French because of the lusciousness and the colors and the lacroix and everything that happened before. So it's really interesting to think how, he had to be that person. I'm what you call like a fake Israeli European, I would say.
Can I say something about what's making it Israeli? The way I see it, everything that is being made